Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Obie and Lortel Award winner John Douglas Thompson is back on the New York stage as the legendary Louis Armstrong in Terry Teachout's new one-man show, Satchmo at the Waldorf, under the direction of Gordon Edelstein. And I caught up with the gentleman on opening night.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Louis Armstrong.
70 years old, and here I am at the Waldorf Astoria. How'd I get so lucky? I got stories on top of stories. I used to work for Al Capone. He walked right up to me and he said, "Boy, you playing in New York tomorrow night, you hear?" The son of a bitch pull out this big revolver. And I say, maybe I do open in New York. Of course, back then, Spade wanted to play the big time. He got to get him a white manager or he ain't going nowhere, no how. I sit him down and I say, "Look, Louie, you want to work for me? Here's the deal. Stop blowing your brains out every night playing all them goddamn high C's. Ain't no money in it." Told me where to play, told me who to play with. There's nothing I wouldn't do for Louie. Not a goddamn thing, understand? I'm Louie and Louie's me. Best friend I ever had. All them memories. One night stand in some funky ass town. Cats in the band playing like there ain't gonna be no tomorrow. Chick somewhere back down the line give you some of that good jelly roll. All in my head. Come out the horn.
So here we are. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Opening night. How do you feel?
I feel fantastic. I love this show. 3 years of my life has been poured into this show with Terry Teachout and John Douglas Thompson. It's been a joy from the very beginning. I'm so proud of the show.
Will you take me back 3 years ago when you first got the script? Tell me what went through your mind.
Terry, I had complimented Terry on his biography of Pops, called Pops on Louis Armstrong. He said, "I've made a play of it," and I said, "I'd love to see it." He showed it to me, and there was the first draft, or I wasn't actually the first draft, but it was an early draft of what is the play you see tonight, and we worked on it for quite a while, and we did it up at Shakespeare and Company in Lenox, then on to Long Wharf, and then here to New York. The play has gone through many iterations since then, and luckily we've had John Douglas Thompson since the beginning, who's an absolutely brilliant actor, one of the best actors in America, period.
Because I was going to talk about him, how wonderful he is in this show.
You see it? You see it tonight? I mean, the guy's amazing. John Douglas Thompson is one of the great American actors, and he is stupendous in this show.
Well, you have worked with so many wonderful actors of the American theater. What's made this so special, and what are the challenges of doing a one-man show?
Well, one-man show are very hard on the actor. And it's very lonely. You know, actors are used to listening and responding. And John's got to generate it all by himself. And the only other character in the play is the audience. And he gets sick of looking at me in rehearsal. So it's a tremendous challenge. John is a very deep actor. His work, the characters he creates, the language he speaks is in his corpuscles before he can actually really deliver it. He is, I mean, I've had the great fortune of working with Judy Ivey and Julie Harris and Rosemary Harris, some of the great actors in the world. And I will tell you, John Douglas Thompson is in that group.
Congratulations. It's opening night. How do you feel tonight?
I'm not sure yet. Ask me tomorrow. I'll know better tomorrow. I'm exhilarated because John just gave the performance of a lifetime. And I've seen him do this a lot, but tonight was really, really special. He's the most extraordinary actor, maybe the best classical actor of his generation. So what astonishing luck for me to have him do this show.
Terry, take me back to the beginning. This all began with a book, right?
Yes, I wrote a biography of Armstrong, published in 2010. And then somebody wrote to me and said, maybe there's a play in this. I'd never written a play, never thought of writing a play, but you know, it seemed like a good idea. So I sat down and wrote the first draft. It took a few days, and then things started to happen, and now here we are. This is the fifth staging of the play. So we've been around the track a few times, but this is the New York premiere.
It's the New York opening of the show. How do you feel tonight?
Well, I feel great. I mean, we finally got this show to New York City. We've been wanting to do it. We've had 3 different runs of it at 3 different theaters, and we're always trying to work to get it to off-Broadway. And I'm just glad to bring this story about Armstrong, a story that people don't really know. They understand him as a jazz innovator and a trumpet virtuoso, but they don't really understand this relationship he had with his manager, Joe Glazer. So I'm glad to bring this story of Louis Armstrong into New York to give people a more private understanding, a private side of this major public figure that we've all come to love and respect so much. So I'm very happy that we got it here.
How well did you know this side of him?
I knew very little. I mean, it was Terry that kind of led me down the path, and then I did quite a bit of research, and the research kind of opened up my own doors. But I've always listened. The Armstrong that I knew was attached to Hello, Dolly and What a Wonderful World. It took me a while to really start to get into like the Hot Fives and the Hot Sevens, the earlier albums, W.C. Handy, Duke Ellington, all that musical stuff. And also I did a lot of research going out to the Louis Armstrong Archive Museum in Queens and his house in Queens as well. So it was really Terry's book that led me on this incredible path, and now I've come to like love this man, you know, in a way that, you know, I never really looked at his music the way I look at it now, you know, or at his life, you know. So, and I hope the play will do that for many others that come to see it. It'll open up this new chapter about Armstrong and let them really understand who this man really was. The man behind the horn, the man behind the smile, the man behind the handkerchief. Yeah.
What is it like playing such an iconic man that we have burnt in our memory, even you, when you idolize someone that way?
Well, you know, Terry, when I talked with Terry, he said, listen, I don't want somebody to impersonate Armstrong. So he said, you don't have to sing, you don't have to play the trumpet. I said, great, because I can't do either. So for me, I'm not really trying to impersonate Armstrong. If anything, I'm trying to capture his essence, you know? And I think the writing in the play is really strong so that I can really capture Armstrong's essence. So I never really quite worry about the original Armstrong, because no one can do the original Armstrong, right? He's just too original. So I'm just trying to capture his essence.
Oh, you do it beautifully.
Well, thank you very much. I have a gravelly voice, so that's a start. That's a start. And then the rest of it is all writing.
You're working